Greetings, join us. All right. Well, she is looking for a bug. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't camera. Anyway. There's a bug on the wall, and I'm not gonna put the background. I'm asking for trouble there. Oh, she's keeping photogenic today. She just was sleeping for a while. Now she's up. All right, so we'll do UFO disclosure. We're just gonna keep that open for whatever needs to come through, Pleiadian, Syrian, Arcturian, whatever it might be. Yeah, it just feels like it's a lighter energy, just like a general vibration. Yeah, it feels like the canines energy. I don't connect to them very often. Just something different. I'm not always sure. I put that title in. I'm not always sure what's going to come through, but it feels like canines. Astral Illuminati realms. Those aren't the easiest to tap into. I talked about it yesterday, but a little bit. You also have elitist guides. Not necessarily for a negative, but some can be kind of pompous in some regard. But we sign up for this, what we're going through. So you have to kind of roll with it the best of it can. But as you upgrade, as you evolve, more of those realms will become a little bit more clear. Things aren't making itself completely clear. Currently, it's not supposed to. There was an event. Something happened in New York today. I believe that's part of the portal that's going on. I think there's more coming, but I don't know what it is. It's still possible of the U.S. going into Ukraine. It feels like that's not obviously 100%, but still feel there's a possibility of it. So it's like Russia's. We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe within the next month. It's really hard to say. We're not always supposed to know certain things. But the Astral Illuminati realms, just some of those can be Archon realms. Usually it's with gold. They can have all kinds of things. It can be creatures, like creatures that look like Egyptian energy, but they're creature beings. Can be creatures from, a humanoid creature like Civil War. It can be all kinds of things. So, yeah, just as we evolve, we'll start to, I feel like there's like a blackout right now for what's going on here, at least through entertainment. So it's not real. I mean, yes, there's some disclosure, but it's not the full disclosure that we could really use, that we need. I guess there's a movie about the moon. I don't know. It's like a disaster movie about the moon. I haven't looked into that, but I don't think that's much of a disclosure, but who knows. Madonna and Anunnaki princess. So I'm not going to show it. Apparently, this showed up in the news about Madonna's been altering her face again. She's definitely connected to some kind of cabal energy. It does feel like she's going to like kind of a self-destruction. She wants to be young again, and it's not working. But as an Anunnaki being, you have the ability to make themselves young. So I feel like that's one of the things. I mean, yes, Hollywood's been trying to make themselves young forever, always recently with the plastic surgery energy, but this is Madonna's a little bit. I mean, all Madonna is like a ritual. Her whole existence is a ritual. Even when she's not part of the ritual, technically she was part of one with Britney Spears years ago. I mean, it was 10 years ago. So, yeah, she has to get the spotlight. She enjoys it, and she's kind of, deteriorating. She's just, it definitely, I mean, I think she practices cabal, but she is cabal, though. So, yeah, but she definitely shows Anunnaki frequency. So, yeah, in her Anunnaki lifetime, she'd be able to make herself look young and things like that. So, when she was old, make herself look young and just live forever. At least to a certain extent. So, Yeah. I guess it's all coming out. Yeah, she's looking for a bug over there. Right. Okay. Yeah. So I'm returning to comment for our sessions. Yeah, the schedule, the shop here, I'm behind. I'm like on the 21st right now, so I need to speed things up a little bit because 21st is next month, so I'm like a month behind on some levels, so that's not good. So I have to get things rolling. It's been going slow. Same situation here. We have the webinar tomorrow. We have this that needs to be changed. We have the Discord. I need to fix that. And we have behind the scenes. Yeah, something's going on. Energy feels kind of well. Yeah, she's looking for something to jump. Something to chase. Yeah, so something's going on back there. All right. Okay. The canine energies from Sirius, and we'll see what else. See what we get from that. So, all right. Blessings for you. Greetings. We have the canines from Sirius. Greetings to you. Yes, our partnership with the Earth is basically here to elevate the vibrations. You can say that one of the reasons why we incarnated on your planet to begin with is we saw how humans are becoming so divided. So it's like bringing an alien friend to your world to give you a hand. So they'll always be there for you no matter what. Because you know what's going on with the world. And the felines did the same thing. Yes, they operate in a different way, but the canine was to give their all. Is because, there are worlds where this happened on the canine and Sirius worlds. Many on canine planets, that's where you come with the werewolf. A lot of werewolves are made here. Basically, the Atlanteans, even the Syrians knew that werewolves would create another reality, so they created them here to move within the realms. Yes, to distract people, to take them over. A lot of that history has been removed, but some of you can tap into those frequencies. It's not a positive side it's an evolution of the canine. And the feline has a version of it too, but the werewolf that's here is where the soul really becomes immortal, but also out of control. It's like a drug. So the wolfman that's here, the man wolf that you see here, that's a version of it to a certain level. That was a little bit more under control of itself. The werewolf being usually can't control itself at all. It just goes by instinct and revenge, and it has different levels. Some have got a more power connection to it, but yes, there are werewolf beings that are similar to like the vampire, where they can shape-shift at will and move through mist and things of that kind. So there are werewolf beings with that type of power, but not so much seen here. We do see some werewolf beings here, actually. Usually those are the long beard. Yeah, it's not the best of our history, but us as canine beings connected to your world, especially like with the Chihuahua. And yeah, the Chihuahua here is really there's kind of like the runt of canine beings, just to really get you to simplify vibrations, to show that even someone really small can bring a lot of happiness to you. Kind of like a little runt, like a baby, but one that's always your friend. Can be very needy. So those that have canine lifetimes in the past and they incarnate as a human, and they just want to help others, but they can't always help themselves, and they usually have a good attitude towards others. They're very friendly no matter what. No matter how dark other people get, they're always friendly. So the canine energy is more there than some might think. So, and it is with the male and the female. It's just to upgrade the frequencies here. You might not be able to make sense of it all, but a lot of times, canine people don't have to be the most deep of beings. They can be just there, just to make the environment better, calmer, happier, without going too deep into spirituality and things of that kind. So there are, yes, Aztec beings that have caused a lot of the tribes brought a lot of complicated things here. The Aztecs brought a lot of complication, a lot of the elitist energy when over the frequencies of the earth. Of course, through war, it's been done that for thousands of years, but in this world, yeah, there's still a war. Of course, you're healing each other, so your future generations of families will become more open to all this spiritual alien energies. They might not understand it, but it's more recognized. It's more accepted, even if it's not, completely understood. But that's your future generations. Your current generation is stuck in their old ways. So with you bringing this spiritual knowledge in any way you wish, it's everywhere, but it's not always defined. I mean, people practice it, but they keep it to themselves. But even spirituality have this coming out party where the society will be able to hook into it and understand it better. Right now, they just feel it's a higher frequency energy, and that's all there is. They're not understanding the depth of it that can connect you to, like, did you have past lives as a canine being, as a poodle? The poodles can be very prestigious. Your Parasultan is a poodle being. So there are also, a lot of fish people here. Some of your politicians are fish. Some of them are sharks. Even if someone's called a loan shark, that doesn't mean necessarily that they're a shark. Because actually, sharks can be very nice, but sharks can also be very vicious at the same time. And your your octopus is usually your scientist. Sometimes your mad scientist, misunderstood. Your Tesla can be seen as an octopus being. Notice how it's involved with many things. But even your Edison can be seen as an octopus being too. Some might see him as a squid, but either way, even if they're not inventing everything, but they're still, they're very busy beings. Let's put it that way. They can handle a great deal. So, and they do have a way of shifting the vibrations. So there are, yes, a lot of elitist beings, like your Edison and your Tesla came from other realities. Where Tesla has actually been, there are worlds where his inventions all worked, where it's all been tested, used among societies. Of course, he goes by another name. So he's helped evolve other planets. But of course, he comes to this planet, he's helping it evolve, but then he gets forgotten. So, and some of you remember lifetimes with Tesla on different levels, but some of you have been similar to Tesla yourself. Some of you actually surpassed him. You might not remember, but one day those memories will come back. Not to, carve out your ego, but you'd be surprised. Some of you start to remember, yes, I did a great deal even more. So in other environments, it's just easier. It's all about the mind. How creative, how imaginative can your mind be? And just let your mind do all the work, because your mind manifests all of these things. It's not always meant for in this world, but in other worlds, yes. So the canine frequencies, yes, we see ourselves as a gift to your planet. As many of you feel like connected to us, you feel like you're a gift also for us to learn through you. Because a lot of us can't handle what a human goes through. So that incarnate as a canine is so much easier, especially a poodle being. A poodle knows they're always going to be taken care of. Other dogs aren't always so sure, but a poodle normally is like, if I incarnate as a poodle, I know everyone will be pampering me. at least for the most part. Greetings. Greetings to you. We are spirit beings. Greetings from your spirit realms. You're elite beings that feel obligated to run your planet. They're yes spoiled to have access to your earth energy, but when they incarnate as human, their health is usually not very good. But in the higher realms, yes, they can control your planet with their mind. But realize they also sell themselves out. So they become part of the elite system, but they don't really have control over themselves. Their talents are being used constantly. So for you to view these things is when you necessarily feel like the need to do so. But it's going to become more known. I mean, you be minding your own business, all of suddenly you get this visualization of those controlling your world. Some do wear, harnesses, kings, and things of that kind. Some feel like they wear the crown so they can rule your earth. So now you know who's the king. And they do that in the astral realm, but you never really know who the true king is. There's different versions of it. You never really see the one that's truly running everything. Sometimes you do, but you have to go through the different levels of astral to get there. So just because you see the elite realms, there's a realm after a realm after a realm after a realm. It goes on and on. So just when you think you've met that place, there's another place and another and another. So the reason we bring this up might not be for your generation. I believe many will appreciate what we're saying, but there'll be also future generations that will begin to see it. You can say Shangri-La is part of that elitist energy, but not necessarily of the negative. It's a positive. Your Gartha has some links to this elite realm. At least that's some of the realms that are allowed to be seen here. It's up to humanity to, let go of the fear and allow your truth to truly come through. Some aren't ready for it because of the physical contracts you have here. Well, it's just that many have contracts to learn here, just like you have like a school, like, was it first 0 to 12, grades, you're in 12th grade, 11th grade. Well, that's what's happening here. Nothing new for many of you, but you don't always see it. But the soul levels aren't going to always explain themselves, how it works here. But there's just certain soul levels, not to put down anybody, but many have a lot to learn in the physical world. Many of you, to speed that up, some of you have been wizards and all kind. You had a lot of challenges also. Some of you have been the villain, the dictator. That does speed up your growth. Of course, the karma comes at a major price. Of course, not everyone believes in karma, but there is a version of karma. It all depends on the individual. But that's why some choose to become the villain, because they can speed up their incarnation process here. So they don't have to be part of this either. They come be villainous, these are horrible things, and then they leave. You see that with your Hitler. You don't see him here anymore. So they learn everything they can here. Yeah, they might not learn everything, but it does speed up there. And that's another way to cut your contract with the earth. Doesn't mean saying everyone should become a villain, but villains usually don't come back normally. They can. It all depends on the situation. If they do, they have to give back to others. So you took away so much from others, it's time to give back. So that's the contract. So if you taketh, you giveth the next lifetime. No matter what, you like it or not, you have to give to everyone. You might find all of this boring and uninteresting, but you have to give back. You have to bring your powers to its highest capacity to help others out of their problem. And usually you've known them in other lifetimes too, to give you more of a background of that. So those that have had some horrible lifetimes, now some aren't always forgiving themselves. Some have not always been bad at all, but they, weren't always there for others. It gets complicated with that. But with those that have the elite timelines, the elite realms, the Illuminati realms, all of you have been there in one of those realms at some point. It is like a maze. You can get lost there. But some of you have been to the root of who's been truly running this reality, but realize there's always someone behind that. So it's a never-ending route to go. But some of you have traveled through there. And yes, there are realms where it is kind of like a labyrinth world, an Alice of Wonderland reality. Notice with the Matrix movie, they mentioned Alice in Wonderland, because Alice in Wonderland is an idea of just a place that's not normal. It's a magical place. Makes no sense. And you have to run it, and that's why many of you are here on this world. Nothing makes sense here. But see, being here is connecting you to who's running reality altogether on this world. Like it or not, you're probably gonna have a run-in with it. Maybe not everyone, but quite a few of you will. Some of you actually marry into it, don't even realize it. Well, maybe you do realize it. No, you might. So yeah, you come here to get answers and to heal the problems that are here. So to do that is to take these lifetimes that are difficult. Because many in society they're just not ready for it. They're just not equipped. They're not used to it. They get pulled into this world. Many do get sucked into this reality like a vacuum, and they don't know how to get out. That's why many of you come here to help them find a way out. Now, how you do that is just by being yourself. And sometimes you're here to free your parents from this incarnation cycle. Because some of just keep coming back over and over, and they don't have to. Others choose to do so, but not everybody. Greetings. I am the higher self of Madonna. Yes, one with selfish needs. Someone that feels others owe her a great deal. Yes, you got backlash for being herself, but wanted to, yes, bring more to society. Yes, more nudity. But it's kind of like a flamboyant energy. But it's also to set people free. Yes, for her is basically, I'll set you free, but you have to do what I say. That's the energy she puts out. So she is about a free society, but she still has to be the one that's given everything. Kind of like a queen to a certain level. So I believe it was like a queen of pop. Lisa, it's something like a title for her at one time. So yes, and why she came to this world is for those that have a lot of selfish needs, but also yes, to show that there's black magic here on the world. And you're here to heal that black magic, at least eventually. Understanding black magic is very complicated, but in most of the religions, or all, but most of them for the most part. So like the windows you see on some of these cathedrals, yes, have patterns, kind of like spidery window glass, yes, controlling society because the sunlight, as the sunlight hits the window and brings it into the church itself, causes a manipulation on its own, even the colors that are connected to it. So yes, those worlds are under attack from all different realms. Light is used against humanity. Sound is being used against humanity. So you're here to reverse all of this. So yes, many of you are going to go deeper for those that, and really these large companies have sold themselves out. That's how they become large. And of course, many of you are there to, yes, fight David and Goliath to a certain level. But maybe not the level that you think on a physical level. Maybe it's more on a spiritual level. It's even worse because they're not always the most spiritually understanding companies. Like sometimes it might be a company like social network. We're just bringing this up for some of you that you feel like there's something more going on because you're most likely battling it in some level, like the Facebook, especially the human trafficking is going on with Facebook. Maybe you're healing that frequency. And it is covering up a great deal. Well, that's what it was designed for, to make it easier to traffic, but also it has to expose itself to a certain level too. The same thing with these other companies. These companies, yes, are basically their kingdoms, kind of like you had the kings of your past. Well, these are your current kings or kingdoms of your current reality, as you know. But it's not always seen that way. Because they are castles. There might be a box castle with a lot of security around it. It's the same thing. And yes, they do steal from each other. There's the same thing that's happened in the Middle Ages, or all ages for that matter. Most of the Middle Ages. It's all the same. They even have security people that are fighting other security people from other other companies and so on. So, and you feel like, yes, the Ascension, it has not hit its full. When Ascension truly hits its highest frequency, everything becomes more transparent. Meaning you can see through a building, you can walk through that building, people become more telepathic. It's just easier to connect with people. You can find the love of your life instantly, meaning that you're in one place and you feel your love is somewhere else on the other side of the world. With somebody that can connect with you, understand you, not judge you constantly. Someone that can fit in with your frequencies, most likely have known that person in previous lifetimes. So the ascension is happening, but very slowly in this realm. Due to the selfishness of the elites that are here. So as you understand now, there's contracts, how long these companies have to be here. And you pick your battles basically, because there's only so much you can do. So while you're here just to awaken those that want to be awakened. So you shine your light, your energy. You don't have to have a YouTube or anything. You put out your vibration, and you're helping others vibrationally to find those that do have a public space and help them unlock their frequencies. It can get a little bit scary because you can really unlock it where you can eventually see alien beings. And not everybody is ready for that because you're still part of the physical realm, especially the physical realm has given so much prosperity in their life. It's like, yeah, I'll be spiritual, but only to a certain level. You're talking about aliens going astral, becoming, non-physical. I'm not sure if I'm ready for that just yet. But that's what many of you are going. And others it doesn't mean others have to become less physical, but that's going to happen eventually. Well, it's a major fear from the physical being. Well, because when the world becomes less physical, it's not to say the physical is bad or anything like that. It's just that the physical timeline here is no longer relevant. You don't need it anymore. I mean, there are other worlds that have it. The idea is to heal this physical realm, so it's not going to heal instantly. No. Too many are holding on to it for dear life. Now, if society itself wanted a non-physical experience, you'd be there right now. But that's why you came here, to heal the earth from its problems. You don't have to go through crime anymore. You can leave your doors unlocked finally, not just in one place, but around the world. And it just becomes easier. Just less heartache. You can live longer. Now there's a reason to live longer. Right now, is there a reason to live longer? I mean, as long as you need to bring your energy here. But it can be suffocating here, as many of you know. Some of those that want to live a long life might not be tested all that much. So it's easier for them to live long. For those of you, if it's a hard life, it's like, I'm ready to go 5 years ago or 10 years ago. It's just too suffocating. But if you're having a trouble being here currently, realize it's not all for nothing. It's just you're doing a lot of self-repair. But it doesn't mean you won't have an impact on reality. You will. It's not always meant to happen now, but you never. If you feel like you need to connect to the public and heal that energy, that will happen eventually. If you don't feel like you need it, it won't happen. It's quite all right though. But the idea for higher frequency dimensions that you're going into. So it's just not being afraid of the non-physical. Uh, for right now, for those, it's just here to just heal the Earth's problems. Yes, these criminal politicians that are here. I mean, they're having a blast here. At least you give them that. Yes, being selfish, getting all this karma. A lot of them are very much into drugs. Not all of them, but quite a few of them are. And it almost becomes humorous seeing it. When you start to really, I mean, some of you might be laughing now, but it's not to be taken seriously. Yes, it's causing a lot of difficulties for a lot of people, but those that in power, it does get laughable at times. But it is serious what's happening here. And not all answers can be made of why things are happening. Why does God allow this to occur? Well, because you signed up for it. God can't break those. I realize people feel like they haven't signed up, but you'd be surprised. God can't interfere because we're actually doing it just justice. Now he can help. He can send angels to you. You can ask for God for his help. We tell God off. He'll send angels to you. You're not going to judge, far from it. Because this is the fight of your lives. This is a fight of the lifetime. Because many of you feel you don't need to be in this reality, girl. It's like you feel like you've done enough here. Why are you doing here? Well, you're here to unlock others. It's about your ability of freeing others from this reality. So they don't have to, yes, they might go through struggles, but they know there's something more out there. They're not afraid of the non-physical realms. Once again, the physical is still very important. They both are important. Just like all races are important. It's just the non-physical is so manipulated by the non-physical. It's time to end that war. And as for Madonna and all her shenanigans and all of that, yes, she doesn't want to leave the world yet because she likes the fame. But yes, her time is kind of running out. Not that any of you really care. But the music of the past is positive. I mean, it has some good to it. Yes, there might be some seance energy there. But for the most part, it's not so bad. Just remove the manipulation so you can have good entertainment. Blessings.